And all I saw was that each of them were grieving, were sad, moved fast, got excited. When we were in California and they thought that little girl was her, if anybody needed convinced, once again, they'd be great actors. So I can't. In my little brain, I cannot see. Their mind, she's alive. That's all I know. Their mind, she's alive, and they want it to be her.
It's just even how all that derived was through Jenna, right? Like how the hell did Jenna know where the hell there's this little girl that's, actually in a situation where she's going to be identified and separated? Like how did even that happen? Like,
and that's where the YouTubers go insane, because sometimes you just don't know why. You need to say coincidence. I say, people are going to go, ha-ha. But there's always been a scripted God thing going on, in my experience through life, because you can't write these scripts. To have the camera rolling on them, they never showed any of the footage. But to actually have all that documented, of that event happening real time with the studio, if they had the slightest question of what these parents would act like, oh, we found your daughter. Oh, man. If you think that she's dead, they're going to go, oh, man, I hope so. Well, I do. And they're going to get this real worried look on their face like, oh, this was pumped. And then crash. And I was the guy that had to walk up and kneel in front of him and show him the pictures of who it was, and just devastation. And then for Candace then to go ahead and go into an interview that I basically set up. And she does, and then that was it. I said, this woman has given everything that she could possibly do. Does that mean there's not some weird accident? Does that mean something? But I've never seen the slightest hint, A, that they know where she's at, or B, that they think she's dead. At all. I've never seen it.
Awesome. And you got security cameras now, right? You do have security cameras, right? Have all that stuff. You got everything you need.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. And I want to touch on this before we go any further. A lot of people misconstrued and completely mutilated the context of when I said, I put there in the intro, I'm on a ladder with a thumbs up. I had just installed IP Wi-Fi security cameras. That one looked down this way up the driveway and the other one looked, because it's a horseshoe driveway, right? One looked down one side, one looked down the other, right? Don and Candace wanted no part. It was Tim Mullins that suggested it. And in fact, guess what? The great people of this community paid almost $300 for those cameras and the box that goes inside, right? I could not get either one of them off of their phone and out of the house in order to use their phone to put the app on to initialize the system. So what I did was I initialized the system from my phone, went inside, transferred the information from my phone to their phone, got it working on both phones, wrote down, and actually Tim Mullins at that point stepped in, and they went in and they made we had made an email strictly for the account. Then they went in and changed the password. So the password was not the one I created. The one I created was Summer Wells 2020 or 2021, whatever it was, right? They went in and made their own passcode or their own password for it. I had no access to the password. It was all to them. They wrote it in a book. So people took that context and they butchered it. They butchered it all the way down. And then because it was butchered, they spread all the different contexts all over the place. But they never turned the cameras on. Don turned the cameras off. And the only reasoning I would guess that you wouldn't want the camera's going is for some other nefarious reason. Why would you not want to see if other YouTubers were coming on your property, or know when the police were coming, or, you know, any number of things that the camera and the DVR system could have captured? Why would you not want that on film? It has to be for a more nefarious reason. My opinion only.
Screenshots. So but that's what she was saying, right? Basically, is that Dawn K is also sharing stuff that
basically who Dawn K is, she is a sleuth, and she does investigations with other groups, and this is her second time going live into an investigation, pretended to be someone's friend to get information.
And all I saw was that each of them were grieving, were sad, moved fast, got excited. When we were in California and they thought that little girl was her, if anybody needed convinced, once again, they'd be good actors. No, I can't. In my little brain, I cannot see. Never mind, she's alive. That's all I know. Never mind, she's alive, and they want it to be her. It's just even how all that derived was through Jenna, right? Like, how the hell did Jenna know where the hell there's this little girl that's, actually in a situation where she's going to be identified and separated? Like, how did even that happen? Like, and that's where the YouTubers go insane, because sometimes you just don't know why. You need to say coincidence. I say, people are going to go, ha-ha. But there's always...
That was Benny stating Jenna called in the tip for summer when Candace and Dawn was in California on Dr. Phil. Jenna is the last girl that was talking. She started on Ziggy's channel. She was very, very, very close to Candace. So parts of what I'm going to show you, let me go to my history. No, right here. I'm going to play this video for you. It'll make a little more sense. And then I'm going to play a live that Benny and I was on a couple weeks ago. I think he asked me for something and I needed to show proof. I think this is what he asked me for, but either way, if it isn't, it's worth going over that anyway.
Only Ziggy has permission to use my stuff non-transformatively. Everyone else, you better transform it. I'm slanging spoons after this. Dig?
this right here, these screenshots are not between you and this lady that, even though you might see her name in it, I guess we're going to try to keep her unnamed, but it's not between, you're not in this conversation, right?
No, these were sent to me.
So
Ziggy's the only one. So if you're gonna play it, you better transform it. Promise you.
So first it starts out that the pink is somebody, I don't know who, that's I guess not going to be.
Yeah, it's the white that's really important.
Yeah, the white is this lady, Dawn, and that's
the
what
white
she
is
goes
Dawn
by.
Keller.
And she goes
white
by
is
that on
Dawn.
here on YouTube, so it's not
Yeah.
like a secret.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling you, everything isn't always what it seems. Trent is not in custody. I got a lot of love for Tim. You gotta turn this shit in, bro. I got a lot of love for Candace. Do the right thing. Do the right thing.
it says, I feel really bad for Candace, honestly. What is your thoughts on Dawn? I don't know how she deals with everything going on.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on? And what's up with Chris? Get the fuck off. Huh? I don't know what's going on, but I'm really the fuck pissed off about it. I don't know what. Chris texted me a whole bunch of crazy shit, like I'm messing with some cameras and I'm downloading Donnie's phone.
And Dawn says, Dawn does yell at her when she wanted him out of the house the other night. He wouldn't let her call 911. So she has installed voice activated cameras in the house and trail cams all over the property. And he has no effing clue.
So here Dawn Keller is saying there's cameras all over. She's explaining to whoever's on Ziggy's panel, I can't remember who it was, reading these, that Dawn Keller didn't access them. She was involved. Candace was telling her she was watching Dawn on the cameras and accessing the cameras to watch Dawn. The PIs called Benny and accused Benny of accessing the cameras. Benny then, just as coming back to YouTube this round after his getting in trouble and all that other stuff, comes back and says this.
And you got security cameras now, right? You do have security cameras, right? Have all that stuff. You got everything you need.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. And I want to touch on this before we go any further. A lot of people misconstrued and completely mutilated the context of when I said,
Crazy, Chango.
I put there in the intro, I'm on a ladder with a thumbs up. I had just installed IP Wi-Fi security cameras. That one looked down this way up the driveway and the other one looked, because it's a horseshoe driveway, right? One looked down one side, one looked down the other, right? Don and Candace wanted no part. It was Tim Mullins that suggested it. And in fact, guess what? The great people of this community paid almost $300 for those cameras and the box that goes inside, right? I could not get either one of them off of their phone and out of the house in order to use their phone to put the app on to initialize the system. So what I did was I initialized the system from my phone, went inside, transferred the information from my phone to their phone, got it working on both phones, wrote down, and actually Tim Mullins at that point stepped in, and they went in and they made we had made an email strictly for the account. Then they went in and changed the password. So the password was not the one I created. The one I created was,
I don't know which YouTubers it would be, but I'm going to tell you, I don't think it was Benny or Tiffany or AB. I don't even think it was the Wells. I think the locals knew the Wells. I think the YouTubers wanted to get information from the locals, and the locals wanted information from the YouTubers just as much in case they got close. I'm more concerned about people like Squall and Scott, Annie Light, Saranac, AC, Renfro, even though she's one I don't want to be concerned about. I think Nana for Life, Ryan, the ones that live in Tennessee, Squall is huge for me. It's never changed. Squall came out here causing a lot of problems, and I think that they played a lot of games with YouTubers to cause confusion and fights. I truly believe people like TPE and Six Up are covering Sage, Shay, have covered a lot of stuff. If you look at their channels, since I continued to call the mountain did not stop, they have all taken their content down. There has to be a reason for that if they've done nothing wrong. If you catch my drift, yes, Squall was MIA as a mofo. Do I know who you are, me? I never seen your name before. Are you somebody I just, what name do you usually go by? Yeah, I think Squall knows things. I think Squall's a handler with PIs, in my opinion. And I don't think Tim Mullen's a good guy, and that's why either way we go over Benny tonight or today. The reason I want to go over Benny is because Benny was suddenly sticking up for Tim after all these shenanigans with the camera and all of that. And that just threw me back a little bit. I didn't expect that from Timmy, holy hell, from Benny. Because he didn't like Tim when he left. Now he comes back with a real love for Tim. And I'm just confused. Oh, Bobby. Duh. I love you, girl. I seen you sent me a message. I have been so horrible going in and checking my messenger the last few days. I take my content down, but for a different reason. Yeah, but Chango, you haven't been to the property and you haven't been close. I'm talking about the ones that have been in close proximity, the ones that live there, you know? The ones I've called out. Oh, I love you too. All right. Let's put this on. What did you say about Squall? In my opinion, Squall knows things. Yeah, hey, girl, if you ever want to come up on my panel, I know some things you told me. You had a conversation with her, if that's okay. I say it now, since she's gone MIA and ain't fucking out here saying shit. But I would love to have a conversation with you. I could talk to you so easy. That's my friend Bobby. She's so cool. I met her here through Summer's case, and we've been friends since the very beginning. She was one of my first subs. And I would absolutely adore to talk to you about some of the things we've spoken about. And some of the things you haven't yet told me, we haven't had a chance to talk about. It's been a long time. All right, guys. Anyways, so Benny comes out and says all this stuff, how he put the cameras up. Let me start it over. It's in the video I'm showing right now, too. So let me show this video. Did I keep it up? Yeah. Let me start this over for you guys. It's 12 minutes long. I'm going to come down and quit chatting.
Only Ziggy has permission to use my stuff non-transformatively. Everyone else, you better transform it. Slanging spoons after this. Dig?
This right here, these screenshots are not between you and this lady that, even though you might see her name in it, I guess we're going to try to keep her unnamed, but it's not between, you're not in this conversation, right?
No,
sent these
no, these were sent to me.
So
Ziggy's the only one. So if you're gonna play it, you better transform it. I promise you.
So first it starts out the pink is somebody, I don't know who, that's I guess not going to be.
Yeah, it's the white that's really important.
Yeah, the white is this lady, Dawn, and that's
the
what
white
she
is
goes
Dawn
by.
Keller.
And she goes
The white
by
is
that one
Dawn.
here on YouTube, so it's not
Yeah.
like a secret.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling you, everything isn't always what it seems. Chen is not in custody. I got a lot of love for Tim. You gotta turn this shit in, bro. I got a lot of love for Candace. Do the right thing. Do the right thing.
it says, I feel really bad for Candace, honestly. What is your thoughts on Dawn? I don't know how she deals with everything going on.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And what's up with Chris? He said stuff about huh? I don't know what's going on, but I'm really pissed off about it. I don't know what Chris texted me a whole bunch of crazy shit, like I'm messing with some cameras and I'm downloading Donnie's phone
And Dawn says, Dawn does yell at her when she wanted him out of the house the other night. He wouldn't let her call 911. So she has installed voice activated cameras in the house and trail cams all over the property. And he has no effing clue.
not you, bro. That's not you at all. But I don't, man. I'm just like at the point, like, I don't talk to him anymore than I used to. Yeah. And the only reason why I asked the Judy and Chris to listen in on our conversation was to pertain to my ability.
I don't think Benny's sus of taking Summer. Oh, it was the We Can Bring You Hope. I already proved that. Oops. The clip where Benny wanted We Can Bring You Hope. Okay, but I'm still going over my live today because of the Tim information. But I don't think Benny's sus. I think he was played with. However, I think you're correct when you say he knows more. Actually, we know he knows more because he was there. He's seen the dynamics. He stated that Dawn went to Knoxville and was abusing Candace while they were there. He threw a heater at her. He was hitting her with the elbows. Those are things Benny said that he witnessed while he was there. In my opinion, I think a lot of creators, yeah, yeah, a little bit. I think Benny's sneaky, but it's hard. I don't want to bash Benny right now. He just got sober. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's been on his toes with his content. His content's been great. He hasn't been being like extremely mean to nobody. I haven't seen him backtracking. And like Benny, I wouldn't want to send an addict back into addiction, so I'm going to refrain from attacking Benny. At the moment, I'm trying to get along with Benny because I have questions. He tried to explain the Linda stuff, but something in me just tells me it's more than that, and I'm going to have to start really pulling out the content to show it. Like when Benny made the song about me, or when he's like, I know we had some back and forth, but he announced my lawsuit and things like that. And I'm trying to forgive Benny the best I can. However, you go back and listen to things and it just doesn't change for me. Even after talking to him, it doesn't change the fact that he said it's a, let me show you what I'm talking about right now so that you guys don't get confused. Because I confused my own self today. I was looking for different proof. I thought he said something else, but we'll see. It's a non-profit.
YouTube, Facebook, oh, a lot of yous. Instagram, Snapchatters, TikTokers. Did I miss any? You guys have ruined summer's chance with the professionals. Now we're relying on it's a thorough organization, but it's a nonprofit organization, and it's it's not the first string, right? So thank you for that. That's just the start. You've given A and H celebrity status, although when and this is in your untrained public court of appeal. Okay, so now the new one is you had the boys taken, right? You guys keep calling. It's what you've done to me, except for I'm not in the middle of a child abduction case, so the standards aren't explicitly more stringent, right? So and they had some CPS stuff going on before all this allegedly. So kudos for taking the boys away. That's helpful. Maybe I'm sure you guys will sleep better at night. But what you don't realize is the lasting effect that does to these people's mind state today, right?
So anyways, I don't want to get deep into that because I just covered that not too long ago. You heard him say now we're relying on, well, it's a nonprofit. That was what I'm going to pull out. I might have said Tim hired you, but I think I confused it with the time he had said Tim wanted him. Look what I did for you, for Ernie. Hold on, let me go to my Canva. It shouldn't be hard to find. Here we go. This is it.
Right? Like seriously, Tim. I mean, I know you asked me once or twice, was there anything I could do about Ernie? And I know that she's asked me many times in the recent past, we got to do something about Ernie.
Like now I got that fool. Like I went over and told him today, like, hey, bro, like I got him to the point where he's ready to fucking kill himself. He's wandering around in traffic. He's getting locked up in jail. Like, and when she sees this stuff happening to him that's terrible, she's enjoying it. And I get it, but he's done really bad things to me and said really nasty things about my son and my family and my ex-wife, my mother. But that doesn't mean that I'm enjoying watching the very dark things that are happening to him. Like, some of the stuff is funny, but a lot of it is like super dangerous, and she's getting a kick out of it. And it's like, hold the phone. Like, she would be okay with me continuing on. And I finally reached a point where I knew that I broke Ernie's shell, where again, man, I went over there this morning and was like, dude, I apologize, bro. Like, even if it's all an act that he's doing, man, a certain portion of what I've seen in that man's eyes, he's not lying to these people when he says, Benny Keys did this to me. And I didn't make him do no drugs. And I didn't make him wander around in traffic 2 days in a row and get locked up or none of that. But I did put pressure on his life that would create diamonds. You know that. I went so hard on this man's head, and now it got to a real point where the man is, you know, like this man jumped into a cab, Tim, so screwed up on drugs. There was another man in the cab with him. He's on live. Ernie is. The black guy sitting next to him reaches in to get his money to pay the cabbie. And Ernie flips out thinking the black dude's pulling a gun on him. I mean, I've broken that man's mind. And she is enjoying every moment of it. Like, she originally told me that I asked her, I said, has Ernie ever been over to the house? She said, no. Then the next day, she calls me telling me that her mom saw Ernie down at the bottom of the driveway, and that now there's this bag of dicks, the dildos. And so initially she told me that the dildos were put into a trash can up by the house, meaning that someone would have had to sneak up there and put the dildos in the trash can. Then the next day she tells me, well, no, they were actually down at the bottom of the driveway, but she picked them up and put them in the trash can. And so she's like, yeah, it was Ernie's shell. And I'm like, well, hold on, man. Like, I asked you last night, has he ever been over there? And you were like, no. Now today, you're saying that you can. She even went so far as to tell me she called the police. And when they got there, they were like, where's he at? And she was like, well, he already left. Man, that man ain't been over there by her house. But she keeps saying he is, and then he brought these dildos over. Like,
this is part of the, now just, I'm separated from everything. This is part of the play out. If, let's just pretend there's something wrong with, this is just a scenario, may not be it at all, but just a scenario. Let's say there's something wrong with Candace's mind.
We need to go over the clips I clipped one day. Let's just say this is a play out. Let's just say there's something wrong with Candace's something. I didn't hear what he said. But this is the shit I'm talking about, where Benny has admitted to doing things for these people. Anyways, we'll just skip ahead to my live and go back to the other stuff, because I have other stuff I really want to cover with you guys.
What happened?
But I'm doing okay. So before anything, I'd really like to know information on the Linda shit.
On the what?
Linda, the lawsuit, how intertwined you were with her.
Yeah, I don't even know. I thought the lawsuit was with some lady named Chicken on a Stick or something.
Benny, I have clips of you announcing Miss Linda's lawsuit and the Sullivan County website, and before I even
Yeah, I
got
mean,
the
if it's on the website, then that's all I know is what's on the website. I never talked to that lady. I never emailed with that lady. I never texted with that lady at all. Not one time.
but you would have had to, because
How would I have had to?
because how would you have known that the lawsuit even existed before I even knew it existed?
Because there was people sharing it on community tabs. It's been so long ago now, I couldn't tell you who it was, but she was in contact with many people that were sharing this stuff before I knew about it. I just picked it up because you and I was, occasionally having words, here and there. And I think mainly the only reason I ever had any words with you was I think my opinion, some of the ideas you had about how how people were interconnected, I didn't agree with. And that's just
Back then, I wasn't interconnecting anybody. I didn't interconnect anybody at that time. I don't know what he's talking about because that's new. I could show you the date. I went crazy and thought my family was on in Alabama getting ready to be arrested as I was discovering shit that I had turned in my hackers. Things of that nature. But that didn't even happen until 2025. So if I have lawsuits against me in 2022, 23, 24, how is that possible? I wasn't interconnecting anybody. I just didn't like squall. I wrote Amy, Jody's sister, and I made a video about Karen Renfro. That's what got me attacked. That's what the lawsuits were about. I stood up for Jody Sue. I didn't connect anybody to anybody back then. So I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't discover my family. I'll show you where I went crazy and everybody made fun of me again. She's crazy, Crystal. No, I was just stunned and floored that my cousins connect to Rogersville. I had forgotten where my aunt was from, whom I loved deeply. My uncle passed away. That was my father's brother. He married a woman from Tennessee and they had 5 children together. And they had a time period in their life when they weren't so good people, but they're better people today, from what I understand. So I don't want to hear shit. Hold on. Let's go back to this.
that's just a matter of opinion, really, right? So, I know that you kind of went after me a little bit here and there, and maybe still a little bit now about Karen Renfro. I have, to the best of my ability, fully looked in and researched everything about Karen Renfro, down to the chicken fighting and all of that other stuff. And, I as I remember, I may have even reached out to people in.
The chicken fighting video was so fucking dumb. It was so fucking dumb. It was nothing. It was unfinished. And I was talking to that as above, so below at the time. And we were in the Google Meet that I didn't want to fucking be in, pretty much. I did want to be in it at first. But then it felt weird being in that Google Meet with Benny. When Scott shows his face for the very first time, it was odd. They wanted to attack Jody Sue, and I said fucking no. Like, They all got mad at me. I'm crazy Crystal. Oh no, her whole family's connected to down there. No. I'm connected through marriage, you dumb fucks. My aunt's from the area. Fucking stupid.
In the community about it, like PIs and different things. Like, who is this Karen? Who is this Karen? You know,
Can I say something to you?
yeah,
Can I,
sure, go ahead.
While you were gone, I
Mhm.
discovered that Karen Renfro and I share cousins.
Yeah.
And it's real. It's 100% real. I've met Karen in my past lives as a child.
Uh-huh.
And I know she's a Morlock. And can I ask you, have you read Karen and mine's text messages?
I haven't. Like I said before, when I was dealing with Don and Candace, specifically, with nobody else, there was so much on the internet that I wasn't even privy to. Some of it I was able to circle back and, find out about, but there's still things to this day that I hear about that I never even knew about. And I'm like, wow, well, that's all new. Here we are looking at 5 years later. Like, that's all new,
No, it's not, Benny. You were only gone a whole year. You were here up until a year ago. You were here while all of this was going on. That's when the lawsuits were being filed. My last lawsuit filed against me, I believe, was in 2024. I can go get my paperwork. But you were still here. You announced my lawsuit, I believe, in February of 2024. We're just now going into 2026. This will now be 2 years, not 5.
I heard, but right before I came on, I heard you mention, am I lying about the CPS? I learned about the complexities of the CPS stuff.
No. You misunderstood. I don't think you're lying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because here's what Ziggy did. She came out here and told us this lady gave her the CPS report. But
yes.
In your conversation with Mark, is that his name?
No, Griff.
In your conversation with Griff, he had said that Doug had given the information. And that's when I commented in your chat yesterday, like, wait a minute, I thought it was Lolita.
Well, no, so Lolita was, as I understand, and it's been ironed out to me, Lolita was the person that I guess you could say impersonated the actual CPS worker. So and I've never even heard the call or any of that, but like any of the texts that you see, they were either, in my opinion, they were either text between Ziggy and herself or Ziggy and this Lolita person. This Lolita person may or may not be a local there. In addition to that, Lolita allegedly, I hate using that word, but allegedly had played a bad actor in many different scenarios where they needed someone to impersonate another character. Lolita was sort of this go-to. Now, I don't know that to be the truth in anything other than just the CPS.
Here's the point. My thing is Benny, what I really, really, really want from you is a little bit of transparency. I think it's fair to Summers, people out here that's been here the whole 5 years. I want to know more about Jenna calling the tip to the Dr. Phil show. How Tim played a role in that. That's what I want to know. I want to know why that happened and why they thought it would be a good idea. And was it a joke? Was it a prank? I think that shit like that is important because that's what Candace used as a way to say, I cried. That's fake. It sounds dumb. Jenna didn't call the TBI and the TBI call a tip. She called Tim. Hey, Tim, I seen Summer. And then Candace starts crying and comes back mad. Right. And you hear Tim say shit like they needed someone to play the part. But you're going to go on in this live I'm playing and you're going to say Tim's a good guy. I believe Tim was involved with the We Can Bring You Hope stuff. I'm just really baffled by the way you think today rather than what you've been stating before your vacation a year ago. Not 5 years ago. You only have a year of memories to catch up with. In my opinion, anyway.
EPS stuff with Ziggy. Now, there were some things that, you know, Griff shared with me that are really inconsequential, but I looked at, and I'm not even a bit above saying that those texts came from Doug directly, but Doug has, since I've known him, been the curator of fake texts, fake documents, and it's his MO to create a fake document and then try to pass it off to somebody else and have them, you know, try to legitimize it as being fact. And so it you know, and at this point, Griff has no reason to lie about it. Now, it was corroborated. The Doug involvement was corroborated by other people, but to me, it was a complete mystery, right? Like I didn't hear about. I heard about the CPS stuff way back a long time ago, but not when it happened. I heard about it at a subsequent time, later on. Then when I circled back to it, in fact, the name Lolita, it only came up to me a week ago or so. And so it's not as if, you know, when my deal last night, Miss Crystal, it wasn't like I thought I was bringing brand new information to the internet, because Griff even said, like, no, I've talked about this. So I never never wanted to make people think I was so naive to think I was bringing new information. However, I felt like it was kind of maybe a split, like maybe 50-50 or 60-40. Like there's a lot of people that did not know Doug was involved in the fabrication. Right. And that, yeah. So that was really my interest in it, because it showed how far the tributaries went, right? Like how the fingers really reached out there, and it came from weird places. And I think that the reason I also found it very interesting was because Ziggy has been like, there's so much Ziggy has done to me that I still probably don't even know. I mean, but I know calling the police, and I'm sure she's probably done some CPS stuff, you know, yada, yada, yada. But to understand that this came from Doug, right? Like, and Doug has just really always done the most, right? He created fake documents, fake text between me and Monica Sherrod, and, you know, it's just been on and on and on and on with Doug. And so I find it, you know, wild. Now, to be honest with you, my main objective in all of this was to do one of two things, right? It was, go ahead, I'll get it. I'll bring it in. It was to get to open the eyes of the people, because it's such a revolving door around there, right? Like I think a lot of us, we have our mainstay people, our friends, our supporters. They don't come and go, they stay, right? Ziggy's. Go ahead.
Do you remember, because I have reservations about Doug myself, okay, many. At first, fuck off. The dude, their relationship with Josh and Chris M was extremely strange to me. And then the way Josh and Chris just turned on Doug was odd to me. And then you have Shay Safe Place constantly in Doug's chat as if they were best friends, supporting him, modding for him. Doug being from California, you know, Dawn did some shit in California back in the 90s. So it worries me that maybe he may have known Dawn in a past life, or even Chris M, because for me, Chris M has a hard on big time. And I just feel like this fight between Josh, Doug, and Chris M was very unexpected and strange. And I'm trying to put the timing to it of the CPS report coming out, because I think with Doug having that information, is Lolita even real?
So as I understood it, Lolita was one of the jerks, one of the circle jerk ladies. So
Oh, like six up? No, six up's a circle jerk, right?
no, she's not. She just is. She knows. I think her name is Miss Eliza, Miss Pearl, Devere. That's really all that's the only two jerk ladies that I know, other than this potential Lolita person. Now, I don't know her. She could be on a panel with me tomorrow. I don't know her voice. Yeah.
So let me tell you an experience I had with the circle jerks. I thought we was cool. I never was like always over there, but once in the blue moon when I have time or they're live and I can catch their live, I'd pop in and listen and chat a little bit. Some of them I thought came to my chat. Are you in here? Wasn't you on Circle Jerks for a while, or am I wrong? I could be totally wrong. Maybe in the chat or something. But I never had an issue with them before. I think like even way years ago, they played a funny video of mine or something. However, recently, out of fucking nowhere, they attacked me like within the last year. Recently, out of nowhere, for no fucking reason. I never spoke about them and I never understood it. I believe their fights with man. I want to know who the fuck Len Ziggy. Look, now I'm derailing my own damn self. I knew this was going to happen. If I listened to this whole thing, I should have clipped it. I apologize. Who in the fuck would lend anybody, let alone Ziggy? Anybody, though. From somebody you never met, a can of fucking paint that you bought at the fucking hardware store. Thousands of fucking dollars to pay utilities and move and do this and do that. Why? That's what started all their fights, in my opinion. And to me, it's fake. There's something wrong there. Like, I don't know a damn human on this earth unless that lady is a fucking millionaire that would say, hey, I don't know you, but here's my credit card. Spend anything you fucking want. Put a 1 in my, I never say put a 1. Let's be PG tonight. Put a 1 in my chat, and I hope to see none. If you would just go lend somebody thousands of fucking dollars who's just a creator on YouTube, and then Ziggy goes and marries a fucking Fred Hill. I'm mind blown. I don't get it.
Don't know anything about her. And she kind of seems like, I don't remember the lady, some lady that people said was my sister that lived in Allen, Texas. Like one of those personalities that's a part of it, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're gone. Like you don't see them no more, kind of deal, right? Kelly Fustos, that was her name. Like one of those personalities, right? And everyone tries to link them to everybody else, and
Speaking of Fustos, Benny, this is important for me. Okay. You do know that the We Can Bring You Hope people are all people I know in real life, right?
No. And I spoke with the We Hope people. I spoke with her one time on the telephone, and we had I let her talk. I just was listening to what she had to say.
I also played the late call for y'all, and they talked about how often they talked to Benny and how Benny was mad. So this is untrue. Benny, how long have we been on? Not tonight. Not right now. Maybe tonight we'll play that again if you guys want to hear it. If it's too redundant, I won't. Just let me know. I try not to be so fucking redundant. I recently just played the We Can Bring You Hope leaked call a couple times.
But I already knew that this lady had been putting out flyers with her own phone number on it asking for tips. I am super against that because that's, I call it tip funneling, right? And it starts to look like reward chasing, and it doesn't look like, this Michelle lady, she's not equipped or qualified to handle police tips. Like, the tips don't need to.
Michelle, can I tell you something about Michelle?
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
don't know if it's the same exact Michelle, but there's another Michelle connected to We Can Bring You Hope. I never seen a picture of her. But this Michelle in the same area I live in right now has a brother who's missing. And this Michelle made posters for We Can Bring You Hope for her brother who's missing and did the same thing, funneled the tips to her.
Yeah.
Put the wrong name for the police department. And I have Sorry, my stream kept playing. I don't want to miss nothing. This is the man who's missing. His name's Jay Keller. We Could Bring You Hope was bringing out posters and doing the same exact shit they did in Summer's case. There's a woman who worked at a bar up here, and it's closed down now, so I don't even give a fuck if I dox it. Right after this man went missing last year, the bar closed down, but I had spoken to her. She was a bartender at a bar called Hooples right up here on Brownsville Road, and she had told me Michelle had made the posters for the missing man and that it was her brother. So I had called the missing persons people and told them, hey, they got the wrong fucking police station number on here. It ain't zone 3. It's zone 3's number with numbers mixed up. The same fucking shit. Funneling tips to them. Same motherfucking mistakes on the fucking posters. He told me take the motherfucking posters down. I checked in with him. He told me he found connections to We Can Bring You Hope. I don't know what to tell you. This is the missing man. His name is Jay Keller. He's been missing since February, I think 25th, February 12th. Get a good look at his face. I'm not lying, Benny. I'm not crazy. Or something. I need to know, Benny, was there truth?
So, like, the whole.
Wait,
Go ahead.
let me finish. The people from this organization I know in my real life are not good people.
No, I believe they're not. I think that they're probably vultures to some degree, but I guess, people watching all of this transpire could say all of us are vultures, whatever they want to say. You would have to play that clip for me again because I don't remember ever saying that. Now, there was so many messages and cranky.
YouTube, Facebook, a lot of yous, Instagram, Snapchatters, TikTokers. Did I miss any? You guys have ruined Summer's chance with the professionals. Now we're relying on it's a thorough organization. but it's a nonprofit organization, and it's
There you go.
It was the same as when I was in Colorado and people were like, oh, look, he's in Tennessee. No, I was in Colorado. Tim Mullins never paid me $1. And I can tell you that. I'll turn my camera. Tim Mullins never paid me $1. In fact, Tim Mullins is on a very fixed income. He receives Social Security and he lives with his parents and he doesn't have fluid money, you know, and there was a point in time where I had offered Tim. Go ahead.
That's not true because he gets paid for his media magazine he does in Kingsport. And I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I think that that's all sort of like a
he also
like a volunteer basis, right? It's not a publication. He's not selling actual newspapers or magazines. I think that he maybe made a little money doing his drone realtor stuff. I don't even know how active that was. But there was just things that I saw that I was like, hey man, I can help you with a little funding for printing flyers or this or that. And he would not take a dime from me. I'd tell you if, because the stuff with me and Tim, it didn't end well, but I'm certainly not going to lie on the man,
I don't think he's a good man. And I don't think that he's poor either. I think that he gets royalties from his Christian music. And he's been in the media business for a long time. That's why he was able to use his credentials to say he's a media manager for the Wells. I don't think Tim is not well to do at all. As a matter of fact,
no,
I've
he's
seen
not.
videos of him. I don't think he's poor, but I don't think he's rich. I don't think that he doesn't have an income. But something I would like to ask you about is him being involved in Summer's case. You heard Candace say to you in the phone call with her that Tim ain't right in the head and Tim's been to the mental ward several times.
Yeah, he deals with and I think I haven't spoken with him in a couple of years, but Tim, like a lot of us, deals with some severe depression if he's not, on his medicine, correctly, or if his doses are maybe wrong. I don't know, but he just dealt with some pretty severe depression.
Right, and I have depression. I get
Yeah.
that. I'm not attacking Tim
No.
by any means. However, what I do want to say about that is this the kind of man that should be media managing?
So, I don't know if I don't think there's any qualifications for, this is my opinion, of course, Crystal. I don't think there's anybody that you don't have to have qualifications. I think your qualifications is to be that in that spotter position is really just compassion, right? I think out of all the people on the internet that would call themselves advocates, we're really just activists, right?
No, Benny. I'm not an activist. I could be. But I'd hope to be an advocate, being I've lived such a hard, awful life. Like, this really is not. I just don't think like you all the time. There are a lot of things I agree with you about, but I'm not an activist. I'm not out here. Now, Bullhorn Betty would be an activist. She, with her bullhorn outside, rah, rah, hey, hey, when you're causing riots and harm to neighborhoods, which America's in deplorable conditions right now. So we know what that's like. I'm not an activist. I'm somebody who's been through major trauma after trauma after trauma in my life, and I'm not out here begging for sympathy. But I want to be a voice for somebody I might be able to help in the future. Like you. Maybe one day you might feel like using and see me live and come into my chat anyway. That's an advocate. I'm not an activist. If you're an activist, then we should talk about that. My opinion.
We come on here and we use dirty language, we curse people out. Tim Mullins is probably as close to what someone would term an advocate. Now, the interesting part about Tim is that most of the things that people think they know about Tim, they've spun from what things look like on the internet, or what they just want to put out about him in furtherance of their agenda. I can tell you that in that community, Tim Mullins is he's thought of in a very high light, right? So people could say what they want to about that community that holds him in reverence, but I don't think that community is crazy different than any other community, right? It has its issues, but Tim he's holding reverence there. So I also
think about, okay, so something else I had caught was Penny didn't want to talk to the PIs for some reason. See, you wanted everybody to listen for the cameras and the videos, but I was listening for other shit. I'm really curious, where do you stand with Penny today? Because I'm confused what I'm showing right here with Jody Sue. You had said that you don't trust Penny, you don't trust Tiffany. However, you were still talking to Penny even after all of the big fighting.
No, the any contact I had with Penny sort of after the business split, it was very few and far between, and it was really had nothing to do with Summer Wells. It had to do with finalizing business between her and I, like AdSense stuff, like taxes, stuff like that. And then once those were completed, I didn't have any further contact with her.
Where do you think the PIs stand? Because I have reservations about Penny. Big reservations about Penny based on what you and Tiffany had said. Now, that's number one. Number two, Twister's been coming into my chats, and Twister's been saying that the PIs are bad. You don't trust them. It's all clout chasing. And that
I would have to agree. I would agree with Twister, because I would tell you that so the Colberts, or the Colberts, however you want to pronounce it, they like to say that they kind of made their name by finding a previous missing person that had taken their own life. That's not the facts. The facts of the matter is they were directed to a probable place in a holler, and they ended up finding this individual deceased in a vehicle by his own hand. That being said, when it came to the Megan Boswell case, they went on WJHL and they offered their services pro bono. The any contact I had with Penny sort of own life, that's not the facts. The facts of the matter is they were directed to a probable place in a holler, and they ended up finding this individual deceased in a vehicle by his own hand. That being said, when it came to the Megan Boswell, the business split, it was very few and far between, and it was really had nothing to do with Summer Wells. It had to do with finalizing business between her and I, like AdSense stuff, like taxes, stuff like that. And then once those were completed, I didn't have any further contact with her.
Where do you think the PIs stand? Because I have reservations about Penny. Big reservations about Penny based on what you and Tiffany had said. Now, that's number one. Number two, Twister's been coming into my chats, and Twister's been saying that the PIs are bad. You don't trust them. It's all clout chasing. And that they
I would have to agree. I would agree with Twister, because I would tell you that so the Colberts, or the Colberts, however you want to pronounce it, they like to say that, you know, they kind of made their name by finding a previous missing person that had taken their own life. That's not the facts. The facts of the matter is they were directed to a probable place in a holler, and they ended up finding this individual deceased in a vehicle.
I wasn't paying attention while we were talking. A probable place in what holler? Benny? Who was the victim? Was it the one on the news? Okay, wait. Let me finish hearing what you said. I just forget. It's been 13 days. Huh.
By his own hand.
Never mind.
That being said, when it came to the Megan Boswell case, they went on WJHL and they offered their services pro bono. And so I think, you know, there's some clout chasing going on in there, but I would also tell you that firsthand while I was in Tennessee, I watched the Colberts actually doing business, right? They're over here droning. They're over there droning. They're in front of the computer reviewing the footage. They're talking to these people. They're talking to those people. You know, and I think that, you know, a lot of my feelings for them was based around the wife's activities, right? So the PI, his wife, anytime like PG or certain people were tearing Candace up in these.
How about, Benny, something I think I forgot to say to you? I don't know if I said it. Anytime Trudy has a three-way call with Chicken on the Stick and TT and Squall and herself, when they're all on a conference call together, I have proof of it. I've shown the screenshot in my TT messages. It's there a million times. I've posted it on my community wall. So I will absolutely 100 million fucking trillion% agree with you that this woman shouldn't be playing phone tag and having 3 people from the area playing fuck shit games on YouTube here. They should be focused on the area in which Summer went missing, correct? And the parents, correct? And the parents' information, correct? Like I could see someone like Fred because that's a neighbor, or Jody because that's a neighbor, but what they're doing is they're out here playing fucking games, and maybe they should be because we're finding people like TPE with 4 motherfucking voices out here doing all kinds of fuck shit. And I don't understand your response to some of my questions, and I don't mean this by any means in a rude, mean, ignorant manner. I just mean I have questions.
These live streams, this lady, and I don't even know who else. If I knew, I would tell you. But they had a little group, and they would go and they would troll. And and I always told myself, I thought to myself, like, this lady's a PI, right? She's really on safari. For her, and I say safari, like if you watch the cheetah eating a baby gazelle, you don't jump out of the safari truck and go stop them. You're letting it, you have to let it play out as it's supposed to, right? You have to let things progress.
I feel I was somebody attacked in that group of people, and that you just cleared something up for me because I didn't know that his wife was doing that. So
I couldn't tell you what her troll. I couldn't tell you her troll names. I don't know any of that stuff. I just know that some of it happened. I don't know how frequently.
I feel like she had a group of women from Rogersville around her or in Tennessee that support her. I feel like Music City Mom would be one of them, and the Meffins that Jody Sue talks about a lot. I have felt the wrath from these people on my Facebook. They have doxed and they have gone extreme real life, just like Linda and Chicken on a Stick has, for no good fucking reason fucking ever, because all I did to Linda was put a rooster video out about Karen Renfro, which was not finished. It didn't make sense. people were forcing me to fucking play it after I played a little bit of it just to show a preview of what I was working on.
Mm-hmm.
And it stemmed out way further than Renfro. Renfro wasn't even my subject of it. What it was to show what was going on in Rogersville, the activities that take place in the fucking area. And Linda had come into my messages and was harassing me for this video. Now, after that, there was the 13-hour call with you and Tiffany and Gavel and Krama and everybody else.
Now, I was asleep for about 9 or 10 hours of that call. Like, I was passed out. It happened, I want to say, was it Discord? I don't remember where it actually happened. But it no, it was on a StreamYard, I guess it was, a private StreamYard. I had set up the StreamYard private stream, but then fell asleep. And when I woke up, they were still.
It takes a second and I'm still typing. I'm fast typing. So it don't always catch the beginning of what I'm writing. And it looks like something else. So I'm not doing that. Okay. So what I was saying was TT had sent me a 3-way call between her, Squall, and Trudy. She told me the reason that call happened was because they called the wrong Amanda. Instead, they called her instead of Athy, but they were supposed to be calling Athy, and that it was odd. However, you see TT now prancing around with Candace and all that other stuff. So I could play Squall, TT, Amanda, Athy, and Trudy together doing these fuck shit 3-way calls, 4-way calls, conference calls. I have a screenshot of it. I've shared it 100 times out here. That's what I'm sharing. So I agree with Benny about Trudy. I also want to know when Ryan Upchurch put his reward fund out for summer, I think it was rumored, I don't know fact, but I think it was rumored that Ryan Upchurch's mom was out here in Summer's case too with the same group of people, the alts, the Music City mom, Alexandra, Drea, I forget the fucking name. I don't even fucking care no more, to be truthful with you. She come out here using a black woman from the G-Eazy videos picture as her icon, calling herself Music City Mom. And she's a white woman who, in my opinion, is a racist because she had the name Alt before her name on Facebook for a while. Quite a few of them did. There was a Michelle, a lot of them. I was trolled by them. Funny, ain't it? Did it become part of the 13-hour call?
How did what become part of the 13-hour call?
You. How did you become a part of the third? Because you just...
Yeah, I was just saying.
Wait, let me finish. You just got done telling me you never had a conversation with Linda prior to my lawsuits. However, that would be proof that you have.
No, I just said I was asleep. She was there the whole. It was whoever, Gavel and me and Adrian. There was a few of us talking. At some point, she came in. I fell asleep. I don't know how long Linda was there. What I do know is that the way that it wasn't being recorded, it was just a portal for people to talk. However, I don't remember who was recording, but the way that it was being recorded, it didn't get all of the participants. So it was like it needed 2 parts of a recording in order to make the whole, so you could hear all the voices, if that makes sense. I still to this day can't.
When Gavel put it out, she sped it up and she did all kinds. I got all the parts of it that she had put out. However, she sped it up and made it so that it wasn't understandable, which is really fucking crazy to me, because why have that call in the first place? Here's a woman who's being bullied by...
Well, I mean, I think you know, common sense would be if it was sped up
It was because it was 13 hours, and you speed it up to get on quick. As soon as you get into YouTube, just slow it down, right?
Yeah, no, but it's understandable, is what I'm saying. They made it so.
Yeah, so if you put it back down to 0.5 or 0.5, then it returns to its regular speed.
Yes, I haven't done that yet. I plan to.
Yeah, try that. That will definitely straighten it out.
But anyways, that's not even my thing. My thing is that it's showing that Linda's involved in other things. And for me, she was attacking Renfro. Do you understand? When she came to me in one of my rooster video and all the information about Renfro and was demanding it from me, and then she's going to turn around and place a lawsuit on me. But anyways, about the 13-hour call, I didn't want to get into all of that. I believe it was Penny that was showing it. And I had gone in and had said something that somebody named B.A. Young told me about Linda way back in July of 2021, which was Linda had stated she smelled decomposition on Dawn's job site. So that was disturbing to me, and that's what I had said in the chat, and that's when my lawsuits came.
You know, I think that your situation with the lawsuit was just sort of the prelude to, I mean, this is now these communities, all the true crime communities overlap.
Renfro is just a neighbor of the Wills. Not even. She owns Moorlock Mountain. I found her because Gary As Above So Below Tracy Cinchler sent me her Facebook, and it was all about chicken fighting, and her son and her had pictures of her son being on the road, or her being on the road, or somebody being on the road. The day Summer went missing, there was pictures of them aiming them at Ben Hill from Lighthauler Road area. So Tracy started researching Renfro and started running into her son, Joseph Renfro, in places like Michelle Walks, leaving comments like, don't come to Ben Hill. It intrigued me. I did a little bit of research on her. I made a video about the rooster fighting, but then I became friends with Renfro, I thought. We were talking in Messenger. She was giving me some information like Stanley Dykes that I connected to Jeremy Pell, and she was telling me some other stuff. I can't find our messages. I swear I fucking saved them. I'm gonna find them, motherfuckers. Anyways, I hope I have them. It don't matter. The police took my fucking Facebooks, I believe. I've explained that. But anyways, I had discovered after I made this video and all these fucking lawsuits, Linda starts writing me and demanding she wants my rooster fighting video. She wants it. She wants to know more about it. Who's it about? She's sending me pictures of Karen Renfro and asking me about it. And I'm just like, no, lady, I'm not giving you no motherfucking info. That's that. And then they had a live about the 13-hour call where I had come out and said, hey, Linda, I want to ask you something about something on Dawn's property or something. And then boom, out comes a lawsuit. It makes no motherfucking sense. But anyways, since then, I had found out that Karen Renfro and I share cousins through my Aunt Rosemary, who's from the area. A Moorlock and an Elliott. But people call me crazy. I'm really fucking not. It's really real.
And from Queen Bee to Bullhorn Betty to the Brittany J lady to the grannies watching. It's all true crime. It's not necessarily, centralized over Summer Wells, but this is the lawsuit community now. It's, you say.
Renfro also admitted to me that her and Glenda had her. I've shown that proof. I think I've shown that one. Her and Glenda had her extremely. That's her people. Glenda had is her people. She came into my chat and left me a cryptic message about Moorlock Mountain. She loves her land. It was weird. As I was discovering, we had family connections. My cousins are her cousins. For me, it's more than a lawsuit. I don't even give a fuck about the lawsuit because I knew it was unattainable to begin with. However, the thing that bothers me is that her attorney was harassing me pretty much. I would write him and he would write me back like weird, like not professional type messages. And in one of the last messages he wrote me, it was that they had found out I had a tower and a power somewhere in Tennessee. Like strange shit, which could actually be true when you put my Morlock aspect of the family in, because I am absolutely 100% connected to people down in Tennessee I have discovered. It's not a fucking joke. And then people are connected to organized criminal shit. So then it becomes scary to me because it goes into like where maybe Fred and Phelan were shooting at each other. It's that type of criminal KKK type shit.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm back. Go look at this post. This attorney was funny. It's little when I click on it. I don't know why. I'll try to go back. This attorney was funny. Just like I said, hey, Mr. Phillips, hope you're well these days. And I posted the proof. You can't see it from my angle, but if you go look at it, you could see it. It's on my community wall from one day ago. I posted it yesterday. There's my proof. He told me I had a power. There's another one out there where he meant, or tower, but there's another one where he mentions tower power, some crazy shit. I think he was, never mind. Trust and believe I have receipts. Okay. So, however, I love my cousins very, very
Jenna.
much. And I know that they're also Karen Renfro's cousins and possibly Karen Elliott's husband's cousins.
Mhm.
Since her last name is Elliott. And Karen Elliott has played many games with Six Up. And I think that Ziggy and Six Up's fights are fucking fake as fuck. And Ziggy and Six Up.
Oh, no. I could tell you that they're not. I can attest to that. Yeah.
But
I agree with that.
No,
go ahead.
When you look at it, Six Up started with the Circle Jerks. That's where Six Up started. And then I was being harassed here on the home front by people TPE knows in real life. Somebody named Lenny Vargo. And
can I ask you something real quick? Do you know who TPE is in real life? Because you would have to know who she is in real life to know who she's related to, right?
No, but what I could tell you is that she was writing me behind the scenes. And that she begged me to never make her show her face because she couldn't show it. It was very odd behavior, and she has friends with people who do not follow Summer Wells' case up here in Pittsburgh, connected to the We Can Bring You Hope people that I know in real life. Somebody named Chris Trott and somebody named Lenny Vargo, who was absolutely harassing me over this Summer Wells case with a man named Boogeyman from Kingsport, Tennessee. And then my friend Chris Trott pinged on his Facebook his location of Kingsport the day Layla Santinella went missing. Now, these are all people connected to We Can Bring You Hope and Kelly Fustos, who is absolutely cousins with my best man at my wedding, Rob Demuth. So this is my research, and these people are from Pittsburgh, and it is real. There are a lot of them are from a town called Glassport. Some are from Plum Borough. Some are from Butler County, where this Isaiah 117 house opened their second shop. They're not good people, Benny. Like, this is real shit here in Pittsburgh. Criminal judge involved type shit that I know about my own life and people that surround me my whole life, because I am from the fucking hood. Okay? And I mean white hood, not black hood. Like, I did grow up in all kinds of fucking places. However, the main place I grew up in was a place called Glassport, Pennsylvania. And the director of We Can Bring You Hope's name is Roxanne DeFelice. And I caught her grandchild out here playing fuck shit games in Summer's case.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is all real life fucking shit where people are out here saying I'm fucking crazy, and I'm listening to a call where you're telling Jody I'm crazy. But no, truth is, Benny, I was just a little fucking blown away by the people I was fucking finding connected to the We Can Bring You Hope people that are down there playing fuck stick games and Dawn and fucking Candace's missing child's case.
Yeah.
It was a reaction to the people I know in my real life. How many times have you heard Ernie say he has connections to people I know? Benny is a gaslighting asshole for whoever pays the highest rate. I hope that's not the case, Clementine. I really do. I hope he had pure intentions about missing a child. I mean, he's a father. He has a little boy. Would he want his little boy to go missing? Or if his little boy did go missing, is this how he would want that treated? My father has borderland, Benny, and these people connect to me, is what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
I've also shown proof. My
Well,
father, JLR, did a video on my father's borderland. Did you know that? He found my father's borderland and was sent there. I believe Chris McDonough sent him there. Look up 611 Sidewinder Road. It's a gas station, Benny. My father used it for an address because he had a trailer on the land that went all the way down to the border with a really big open fucking opening that Jonathan Lee Riches just happened to fucking be on as he was filming. I've shown it a million times. Please go look. I don't have time to show every single thing I want to show over and over and over and over and over again. You have to look for it. Look at all my community posts for the past since you've been threatening lawsuits and... Dude, I don't know. What's your skilo, dude? What is it? I believe there's more to Chris McDonough. That's my opinion. And I believe that he is where the We Can Bring You Hope motherfuckers came from. However, I really did think it was from you and Tim, and I will play the clip. I'll find it and I'll play it again so that you can hear it, because I'm very confused about it.
Yeah, I'm confused. I mean, if you could even email me that portion, separately from everything else, just where I could hear it, maybe give it some context, because I was pretty adamant from the beginning about, in my inner circle, because I'm one of those, I don't believe everything's for the internet, but I was very adamant that whoever was behind the gears of the We Bring Hope, they weren't good people. They're funneling tips and this and that. And then pretty early on, they gave a platform to Ernie Shell to do all of his BS, and
I can connect them directly to cousins of Ernie Shell. But yeah, go ahead. You can go ask Ernie who the Gelkers are. Go ahead.
I don't even think that Ernie even knows what he's even doing anymore.
But
No, he's a mess.
you know, with
You see what he's doing. He's acting like a homeless fucking person in New York, panhandling for fucking money on YouTube. And I believe he really just left Pennsylvania to go to fucking New York. And I'm telling you, he has admitted to knowing the people. I have asked him. And there's a man named Bam that's connected to Christy motherfucking Vincent. And there's a phone call with Linda on it where where Chase is on the phone call with Linda. And somebody's or Chase is like, oh, I just Bam keeps hitting me up, Bam this, Bam that. Well, Bam is my fucking stepfather's fucking best friend in real life. And I went to Bam. I didn't even realize you were gone.
Ed booted me out for some reason.
I went to Bam and Bam told me he knew Ernie. So then I went to Ernie on panel and asked Ernie, did he know him? And Ernie said, yeah. So I can connect Ernie directly to the little fucking town where the We Can Bring You Hope people come from.
Well, you know, I think I would be, you know, and that's where I would have to interject really quick. Ernie says he knows Donald Trump Jr. and he knows, you know, Matt Wright.
No, but Benny, what you understand is Bam told me he knows Ernie.
Yeah, I don't.
That's what I'm saying to you. I speak to Bam. I know him in real life. His name is Danny Keister. And he's somebody who knows Ernie, and I don't know how. However, I do know that there's a Neil Gowker who knows Ernie through the wrestling world.
Yeah, maybe. You know, he
no, Ernie has said it. Ernie has told me he knows these people.
Yeah.
And these people have told me they know Ernie, if you catch what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just, you know, all of these things, and then I think that at some point you have to be able to factor in the plus or minus of trolling, right? I don't know what is a troll, what's not a troll, but
no. So someone I've known my whole entire life is a troll. Someone I went to and hung out a day with. Like sat outside of a building, smoked cigarettes with them, chilled, talked about life a little bit. He's missing a leg. I don't know how. He disappeared. Shit got weird. It all centered me and my husband's issues. I did some dumb shit. My husband did some dumb shit. He did some dumb shit first. It caused me to react for the first time ever. It destroyed my life. I'm still trying to connect with my husband. We're trying to communicate, trying to get things together and move on. But it's real. You want to... Hold on. Shit, it ain't this one. I'm not going to dox the dude, but I have his phone number written down from a while back. Like, not recent. It doesn't say his whole name because I didn't remember him at first. And then we remembered each other. But it's real. He lives in McKeesport. I'll give you that much. Figure him out. Find him. What I'm saying to you is I have spoken face to face with people.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't mean just specifically about Ernie Shell. I just mean like widespread, you know, like I couldn't go back and tell you that everything somebody has told me that I've talked to since I've been on the internet talking about Summer Wells haven't trolled me at some point, you know?
What you said was the We Can Bring You Hope people were giving him a platform.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I'm saying when I'm talking about the trolling.
I'm telling you that's because Ernie already knew that.
No, I think that, and that could be. My opinion with the We Bring Hope and Ernie was that Ernie alleged that he, you know, the whole racetrack thing, that was what put Ernie on my radar, right? Like Ernie is there with a dog and he's saying, you can hear Ernie audibly say that the police have already verified that the scent
with Dusty, right? Dusty was the psychic, and at the same time, Dusty was talking to Dawn when the whole dildo thing happened, right? Or the baby dolls. It was one or the other, the dildos or the baby dolls being hung from the tree or whatever that was. Wasn't there something about some fucking baby dolls in a bin or something? He was there with Dusty, a psychic, who connected to Ziggy and started on Ziggy's channel, just like the rest. Go find it, Benny.
That their dog is on was Summer Wells scent, and that they told them to go ahead and search it. Like that was, it wasn't even the picking up of the evidence with their hands and putting it in the bags. It wasn't none of that. It was,
For me, it was the hotel. He went to a hotel and put people on a camera, and he was saying Summer Wells was in the hotel.
I mean, yeah, he's done a lot of deplorable things. So for me, like that's why I had to just exit out. I don't have no problems with Ernie currently, or even
Speaking of the racetrack, I also remember early on Don Wells saying that he was in contact with Dusty. Well, Dusty was the one Ernie was going to meet, and he also met Kathy along the way and received a folder from Kathy, and he wouldn't show the contents of the folder. And to me, that's just, I'm not forcing him to show it, but if you're meeting with people who's been playing games with Dawn and Candace this whole time, going and visiting, and then they're going to the racetrack and everybody's fucking psychic, and I'm rolling a joint. The very first time I'm rolling a pinner because it's just me. But the very first time that Ernie was on my panel, that's what Ernie and I talked about, that I had busted somewhere. He had said he had stopped at Kathy's house. And I think I had brought the clip out or something. I can't remember because it was like 2 years ago. A year ago, 2 years ago. I had brought the clip out, and he was telling me, oh, I'll give you the folder. I'll send it to you tomorrow. He was bullshitting me like he bullshits fucking everybody. Did he really stop at Kathy's? I don't fucking know. But whatever was in this folder, I believe he was taking it to go. It was about this hotel or whatever was across the street where he was recording the people, or it had something to do with Dusty. I wanted to fucking see it. I wanted to see what the fuck he was talking about. He promised me he would send it and then disappeared till just recently. It's funny. Then you have the Bill Bondsmith who was on White Boys, who was saying that Candace was coming out of the woods, Lady Justice, and Ernie is also friends with her. And he also was involved with the chip from it's just all the marathon and money shit. I'm not accusing We Can Bring You Hope of taking Summer. I don't think that's the case. However, I do believe, I don't know, my dad's borderland into it and what I know about these people up here, like coke deals and shit like that. Like, I'm really just saying it now because I don't give a fuck no more. Fuck all of them who has played games here in Pittsburgh with my real fucking life. But anyways, when you put together that Dawn was talking to Dusty, Ernie was talking, it's just all strange.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that, you have...
Dawn's been so against all of the psychics since day one. However, he's the one talking to Donna Serafina. He's the one talking to Dusty. He's the one bringing Juanita there, then talking about there's gunplay at the bottom of the hill with the psychics.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much of, when it comes to the psychics, like I don't even invite that energy into my life. And, I just refuse to. Not only that, but like you see these bad things happening to these psychics, and it's the same go-to comment. It's like, so you're psychic.
But Benny, around that same time, you were deeply, deeply involved. You were the arbitrator. That's what I don't understand. You were speaking to them with Dawn, right? I think. maybe I'm assuming, but I would think that's what would be going down since we know you were talking to We Can Bring You Hope. I played the clip where they said they were speaking with you. You said you were the arbitrator. I don't mean to laugh, but I'm kind of laughing. Who thinks Benny was the arbitrator?
Psychic, but you didn't know this was getting ready to happen. Like it's beyond anything I can comprehend. So I think that the whole psychic value of any of this is yeah, and I don't curse, but it's horse shit, right? Like if it as soon as you hear a psychic say they know something, run the other way because they don't even know what's gonna happen in their own lives, let alone.
And another thing, aren't you and Cher really close? Because Cher thinks she's psychic. She has reported on that in many cases, including Chris Watts and some others. Cher's really digs the fucking psychic. So wouldn't you have to debunk Cher? Debuke, whatever. Garlic, crosses. It's because the psychics are fucking fake. They're fake. They're fake. But hey, bro, that's what Cher calls you.
They always see, and the thing about psychic stuff, Crystal, they only know after the fact, right? They're all in tune. Why can't they warn Don and Candace before their daughter goes missing? They only know what happens after they go missing, right? Like it's all horse shit. It's fake. It's fake.
I know people think I'm fucking nuts, but I'm gonna tell you something about my life. My father was in a cartel when I was a kid, and I don't know what he did throughout my life growing up because we weren't close. He was a little bit crazy, and it was because he was in an accident where he was hit by a snowplow and it caused damage to him, and he won a lawsuit for almost $1 million. And we moved to Miami and right to Surfside and Bell Harbor. You can look up what was going on in 1981 down there in that area. And it was my father's best friend's home. So he had already his whole life gone down there and visited and knew these people. Okay.
Yeah.
So my father, let me show you where I grew up as a small child. I moved many times in my life. I've lived many chapters in life. I tried to explain that. My parents were fucked up. This is the house I grew up in, 8959 Carlisle Avenue. The guy who is, in my opinion, running my father's business, it's been turned into several places. I hope somebody's looking into it. He owned this home. My father was he was in two wrecks. One train wreck that fucked his brain up, and another wreck that fucked his heart up. He got almost $1 million for the heart accident. For the train accident, he didn't get shit. He was a teenager. He stole a car, went over a hillside, through a fucking billboard or something. His friend did. I don't fucking know. And his car was hit by a train. He survived, but he needed brain surgery. It gave him almost, in my opinion, like a Tourette's type syndrome, but he was brilliant. He could play any instrument you put in front of him, anything. And he fought and he won almost $1 million in this lawsuit. We rented this home from his best friend, where my father also grew up at, because it was his best friend. The whole family was his best friend. This is just a mirror. Let me show you. I went to school down this street. Welcome to Bell Harbor. This is Bell Harbor. This is where you hear all the cocaine cowboy shit. Okay? There's shops down here. This is Collins fucking Avenue. This is Miami Beach, where I used to go fucking shake the motherfucking seaweed and catch the motherfucking blowfish and jellyfish. My father really did know bad people. I thought he wasted all of his money in life. Somehow he ended up with Borderland in Winter Haven, California. Look up 611 Sidewinder Road. Look up the name Martin Chad Stanley, June 5th, 1958. You're going to find him. I promise you, at both addresses. You love the beach? Oh my God, Miami Beach is the best. I like going up to the marina. There's like a nude beach there, but if you go the other direction, it's really fucking nice because they got like a coral reef up there a little bit. It ain't like a huge one, but you could see the boats come through, and sometimes you could see the tiger sharks. And it's up on like 100 and something. It's up by, there's a marina up, what the fuck is the name of the marina? Sunnyside or something, Sunny something. I don't fucking know. But anyways, my father lived down there for 40 years before he moved. But he moved back and forth from there to California to Arizona. Look him up. I promise you. It's not a fucking lie. I just didn't have a good relationship with him because he was batshit fucking crazy from his train accident. And wouldn't it be ironic that years later my husband would unalive himself the same way? And then you motherfuckers would accuse me of pushing him in front of a train, and that includes you too, Benny. Like, unforgivable shit, dude. Miami's beautiful. I love the beach. Okay. I'd like to go visit again one day. Let's go back. I have a sister who lives down there. That's who I thought. I told you. Did these crazy things. Nothing I had found out. Here's Ziggy married. I didn't even realize Benny had a baby. A real life baby all my life. Congrats, Benny, or is that your son? And Fred Hill, who's Karen Elliott's brother, who is definitely connected to my fucking family. Okay, 100% cousins of mine. We share cousins. I'm not cousins with the people in Rogersville. However, my cousins are, if that makes sense. Their mother married my uncle, okay, and had babies together.
Mm-hmm.
So she is from Rogersville, Tennessee. Her name is Rosemary Elliott.
Okay.
Anyways, so, or Morlock, it's one or the other. She's both. However,
Stand up.
Ziggy marries Fred, but Ziggy also grew up one block away from my father in Miami, where her father was president of condominiums. And my father has Borderland. He wasn't a good man, Benny. When I tell you he was a drug runner, it's true.
Yeah, no, I believe you. I mean, I have a history too. We all do. I think that a lot of people try to put a lot of weight and importance on what this relationship is or isn't between Fred and Ziggy. And I think that I can simplify it for everyone by saying that Ziggy saw an opportunity. Fred is nothing more than a nominal paycheck. That's all it is. There isn't any bigger conspiracy to it. I don't think that Fred,
I disagree, and I'm going to tell you why. Her green card marriage tells me that, for one. Number two, it tells me she was involved with that type of shit down in Miami in her drug days, as she calls it. That's number one. Number two, she lived one block away from my father, who had a green card marriage at the same exact fucking time Ziggy did. Now, with that said, my father was also married to a woman who owned a psychic shop right around the corner from where Ziggy lived.
Yeah.
They train people to fake psychic motherfuckers. That's why I know the shit isn't true. I grew up around it.
Yeah, it's all a farce.
There are psychic fucking networks, and I do believe Ziggy is part of that and being a handler for fucking Fred right now because of the ties she has to my family, who has ties to real life fucking life cartels. It's not a fucking lie. Okay? My father was a very bad fucking guy. That's why I didn't have much contact with him. He beat my mother. He beat me and my sister. He sold drugs. He did all. I remember a story. We were stuck in a cab and a cartel member had to come save me and my sister because my dad was about to get fucking arrested because he was toting around motherfucking prostitutes down in Miami.
Yeah.
Like true life fucking shit I lived through. It's not a fucking lie, and I'm not fucking crazy. You could look at my father's information and see I'm not.
I believe
now, here's the thing though. Ziggy's close relation to my father and these green card marriages really causes concern for me with a fucking Karen Elliott.
Yeah. I can, I guess I will say that I can being politically correct, just say that I agree to disagree with you, and that's okay. People can have differing opinions. And that's because you you know a whole lot more about Ziggy and all that than I do. I'm capable of looking at it at just like the surface layer, and it's just Ziggy saw an opportunity where she don't have to work. She thought she was probably gonna bump into some of this money that she thought Fred had in land, and she was gonna get Cash App and AdSense money, and look where we're at now, right? I mean, that's my opinion.
College? Do you know she went to college for math?
That's what she says, but
no, it's on her background. It's in her background. She went to college for math. She knows what Fred was getting and wasn't getting, in my opinion. She's not a stupid person. Her parents are very, very into real estate. She grew up around that. They were president and owners of condominiums. They own lots and lots of money now. I mean, not money, houses. They own land and things of that nature. And Ziggy really is not poor like she puts on. It's a facade. It's fake. She didn't grow up poor. Now,
I don't think she did.
Be poor. However, her parents have money.
I believe they do.
So for me, Ziggy already has an inheritance coming, and she doesn't need Fred's fucking money to survive. So for me, green card marriages show me that Ziggy is not against doing illegal fucking things. And that there's more to her past and background and the people she ran with in real life. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think that
from personal experience, I grew up in that life, is what I'm saying to you. Mm-hmm. And I can spot a gringo a fucking mile away. Dude.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. No, maybe we could have another maybe we could have another conversation here. I got the baby and he needs to be put down. So maybe tomorrow or Monday afternoon if you're available. Just if you want to email me and we can kind of set up a proper time, and that would also give me an opportunity to kind of nail.
That's pretty much it for that. Let's see, what time is it? It's 6 o'clock. I have like a half hour to go over. So if you guys want to stick around and go over some other stuff, let me see. I do have, let me see what I got pulled up here. We just went over this. Oh no, not all of it. Hold on, I have more to this. I know something we can go over. Let me go back to this tab. Let's go back. I didn't finish. I'm going to let these same people, the Dawn Keller, who said Candace was fucking around with cameras, was friends with Jenna. Her and Jenna had a fight or something had happened between them two as well, I believe. Jenna's the one that called the tip into California. I was playing a video of it earlier, but here's where I'm going to start right here. It goes into the full conversation of the video, a little less unedited.
Shots. So, but that's what she was saying, right? Basically, is that
Yeah.
Dawn K is also sharing stuff that
Basically who Dawn K is, she is a sleuth, and she does investigations with other groups, and this is her second time going live into an investigation, pretending to be someone's friend to get information.
But these are the screenshots that were sent to me.
okay.
With her telling this mutual friend about Candace.
Yeah, I hope that these are all are in order, but yeah, I found these ones like really particularly interesting. I didn't know at first that they were from before you started talking to Candace, but this right here, these screenshots are not between you and this lady that, even though you might see her name in it, I guess we're going to try to keep her unnamed, but it's not between, you're not in this conversation, right?
No, these were sent to me.
So first it starts out that the pink is somebody, I don't know who, that's I guess not going to be named.
Yeah, it's the white that's really important.
Yeah, the white is this lady Dawn, and that's
the
what
white
she
is
goes
Dawn
by.
Keller.
And she goes by that on here on YouTube, so it's not like a secret.
Yeah.
So it says, I feel really bad for Candace, honestly. What is your thoughts on Dawn? I don't know how she deals with everything going on. And Dawn says, Dawn does yell at her when she wanted him out of the house the other night. He wouldn't let her call 911. So she has installed voice activation.
I think this lady was a secret. Listen to the voice. It could be TPE. You never fucking know. Listen to her. She's like, Dawn Keller. Who was this, Ziggy? Who was this? I want to know, because now I'm starting to think it was TPE. This is crazy. Some 90s shit. Some 6-up or something. Who was this? Because you kept it a secret. You wouldn't tell us who sent you these messages or something.
Cameras in the house and trail cams all over the property, and he has no effing clue. He stood in front of one of them the other night, and we watched him because he didn't even know. If it gets bad, she will text me 911, and I will call Rogersville Sheriff. Her attorney knows the shit he's doing. The family law judge gave them each their own attorney after he was told what was going on. Then the pink, it says, good for her. What made her want to install cameras? She doesn't trust him either, does she? She wanted them in the property because of Juanita and the guy, Larry, that was with her. And there has been people in the woods area around her house on the property. So Dawn says, yep, her mother pays for everything. Sorry, these might be a little bit out of order, but yep, her mother pays for everything there. He's got the $600 card that is in his name, not hers. He didn't buy it for her. Soon as he leaves, if she's up, she'll call me. but he goes to bed at 9 usually. You are exactly right. She needs to get away from him before he takes her down too. Delta 8 CBD is what she smokes. It's sold at the hippie house. She's not smoking it anymore, and she's all over the place with anxiety. Because pot is illegal in Tennessee, that's why a lot of people wouldn't let them search their property. And the moonshiners. Wait, that's why a lot of people wouldn't let them. Oh, a lot of neighbors
Because
didn't
of,
want law enforcement.
yeah, because of, right, exactly.
Because of, yeah, illegal things going on. Okay. So in the pink, it says, so grandma pays all the bills besides the truck. Does Dawn not make much money? No, all the bills beside that red Subaru. He gives her very little money a month. Well, he did to take the kids out, then would get pissed off. Oh, like he would give her money to take the kids out and then he would get pissed off. He did take off for 3 days and was in Knoxville. Oh, he makes good money. Starts to say at the bottom, he's on probation apparently. Says this was recently him using drugs again. Really doesn't surprise me at all. So yeah, this is a little bit out of order, but yes, he is very. That's why her mom don't like him. But Candace is a mess. The boy's father, Summer, dad, etc. But I told her, listen to your attorney. If you need out, you let me know and I'll talk to your mom. There's a bunch of us that can get her out of there and him not know. But the thing is, she tested positive for meth and pot, but he was negative. So he told her, because they are never together when the tests are done. I think he lies to her a lot. I think law enforcement would help get her out of there if she wanted out. Thing is, she's got to want to leave. I think she wants to. I just think she's scared of what Dawn will do if she does. Yes, the puppies and kittens. He would kill them. Wow. Oh wow, really? He has told her he would if she left? And then underneath here it starts to say she dropped the order of protection because he called from jail or something like that. Wow. So this person, Dawn K, I'll just call her Dawn K, thinks that he would kill the puppies and kittens. That's horrible.
She's saying that's what he's threatened if she leaves.
Wow. She wanted them in the property. Okay, now she's speaking about the cameras again. She wanted them in the property because of Juanita and the guy Larry that was with her. And there has been people in the wooded area around her house on the property, and she's at home at night alone. Well, she was. Now he comes home and gets in the damn phone with every Tom, Dick, and Harry he can. She's texting me at the same time you are. I told her I think she needs to get him out of there, or she needs to leave and stay with someone because he's going to drag her down with him. Too many contradictions he's doing to what she has already said. Too many contradictions he's doing to what she has already said. They have been married since August 12th, 2012. I should write that down. Supposed marriage date, August 12th, 2012. C&D marriage. Because everybody has questions about that. You know, they're trying to find this marriage certificate or whatever.
Absolutely.
So their anniversary is tomorrow, and he leaves to go talk because of the Wi-Fi. Where had he been going at night? I think he talks so much because he's guilty of a lot of things and feels he can convince people otherwise if he's talking. He's totally wrong about that. The more he talks, the more guilty he looks and sounds. Yep, her mother pays for everything there. Wow. No, all the bills besides that. Okay, so we read this part. All I'll go and read it again. No, all the bills besides that red Subaru. He gives her very little money a month. Well, he did to take the kids out, then would get pissed off. He did take off for 3 days and was in Knoxville. Oh, he makes good money. And he's on probation, apparently. Easter 2 weeks ago, when they went to court that morning, she said he had to go to his probation officer. I haven't checked why yet. This sounds very controlling on his part. Do you get the controlling, abusive vibe from him too? He takes off, goes to Knoxville, and does coke, she said. He came home after those days. Car was a mess, and he stumbled to walk and says, "You can have the car. I can't keep getting it dirty." Then blew a puff of smoke in her face. She thought it was cigarette, but it smelled like chemicals. I said that effing meth or dippers, aka PCP, dipped cigarettes. So, and it says this was recently. Him using drugs again really doesn't surprise me. That's what it starts to say there at the bottom. She dropped the order of protection because he called from jail harassing her mom and made threats before that she'd be without everything and lose all her kids like she did her older kids in her last marriage when she left and had nothing. Because the house is in his name, it was left to him. He's already effing asshole. Does Candace think it's possible Dawn did something to Summer? Maybe she thinks he could have, and is just too damn scared to say anything. I only ask because she obviously knows what he's capable of. And then here it says, oh, here's the picture of him leaving the other night. Hold on. So here you could just see, it's like a FaceTime thing, and you see, it looks like, I think probably Dawn here in the corner, and Dawn K in the corner. And yeah, he's in a truck.
Who sent that? Yours a brewing. Never heard of you before, but thank you so very, very, very much. I appreciate it. Peace and love. Thank you. Honestly, thank you. Okay.
What is known about the neighbor that says she heard Summer scream? Has Candace said anything? Oh, I liked this one. Has Candace said anything about this before? Now to you, what are your thoughts? Strange this is just now being mentioned 2 months later. Side note, that's what I've always said. You guys, this was like, I think, August, middle of August, when this conversation here, I think. Pulling it up.
Yeah, none of this is recent.
Yeah, pulling it up on Google, it doesn't seem plausible this lady could have heard Summer scream. And they had a Google picture there. It says, wonder what Candace thinks about that coming out. Thinks she believes it? It says, my order will be here the 19th. Yay. I think it may be true, but never met. She's supposed to be in another country. Okay, this is about, which comes up later on because this is out, I think, a little bit out of order. Right now they're talking about, I think, Dawn's supposed 17-year-old girlfriend.
Correct.
I think. Okay. It says, I think it may be true, but never met. She's supposed to be in another country. But Candace says that he's on the phone half the night. She said she thought was Cher, but now she's question mark. I don't know. Yep, probably the girlfriend he's talking to. Have a good day and stay dry. Talk to you later, girl. That's what I think too, but he's stupid. He left Cher's phone number on a book, and Candace had me call it to call because no name and it was shares. LOL. She's going to be looking out for that shit. And what about him having a 17-year-old girlfriend? I believe every word of that. It came from his own mouth. Okay, so this is my order will be here the 19th. Wonder what Candace thinks about that coming out. I think she believes it. Okay, so we've already read this one. That was like he got shit ass drunk and demanded sex at demanded sex at 2:30 a.m. She told him to get the F away from her. Then this morning he asked about divorce. She packed a bag and was gone to get him a room at a hotel. He told her, no, don't leave. We'll talk about it. And it says, who? Dawn. Later, or go get it. Hold on. Let's go get it. Go get it. Hold on. I'm on Zoom and Candace called in Messenger and there's about to be big bomb dropping soon. Mark my words. Donna is an effing sick jerk. He is physically abusing her and mentally. He drinks every night. I'll tell you in a few. Let me get the pictures. He asked her for a divorce this morning. Don't say anything. He got shit ass drunk and demanded sex. Okay, so that's just the one we've already read here. But it says she told him to get the F away from her. Then this morning he asked about divorce. She packed a bag and was going to get a room at a hotel. He told her, no, don't leave. We'll talk about it. Okay, so this is back about the cameras. It says, and he has no clue about the cameras she had put on the property. I have stopped modding for Crazy Crime Chick and Amanda Vita until this is over. Only if it's not on Summer. And told Cher I will not panel with her either. I don't agree with her shit. Nope, because her friend did it during the day and they're in the trees. I watched them do it. Did you see my question about the picture? There's ones he knows about because of the driveway, but
I don't need no words. Let me go back a little bit.
told him to get the F away from her. Then this morning he asked about divorce. She packed a bag and was going to get a room at a hotel. He told her, no, don't leave. We'll talk about it. Okay, so this is back about the cameras. It says, and he has no clue about the cameras she had put on the property. I have stopped modding for Crazy Crime Chick and Amanda Vita until this is over. Only if it's not on Summer. And told Cher I will not panel with her either. I don't agree with her shit. Nope, because her friend did it during the day and they're in the trees. I watched them do it. Did you see my question about the picture? There's ones he knows about because of the driveway, but there's ones she put up with her friends and their husbands that none but them and me and her know where they are. The ones in the house are all tiny and that's why she has the AT&T phone. He doesn't even know the passcode. She asked me that night that he left to go to church to talk to Cher. She only trusts me and her other friend right now. Her not trusting people is understood. I'm glad she has you to talk to. She needs someone.
August the 2nd, there was 3 women went to the wells.
Sorry, guys. Thank you, Earl. I said I was turning that red because I want to keep that there. You know how my videos usually will eventually make it. My lives will eventually make it to a video. So I'm going to leave that there. You wasn't supposed to see cracking cases. Cracking cases is for another live I'm working on. I'm going to end this. You could see it how Candace was hiding cameras and the games. They were all playing behind the scenes. I debunked a little bit of what Benny said on my panel tonight. I'm trying not to do it in a rude manner or be accusatory of anything to Benny. I like the way Benny had come back, but I think that I still have questions, and there's just a lot of things that seem like bullshit, Benny, and I'm curious as to why, and I just showed you why. You said you would like me to show you that clip, so I'm just doing it live, if that makes sense. But anyways, it's only 6 o'clock. Hubby's off after he gets off. No, it's after 6. What time is it? 6:12. He gets off at 7. We gotta figure dinner and stuff out. I may be back tonight. I may not. I have 2 lives set up that I want to go over with you guys, and I'm still not getting to other stuff. Like, I want to talk about that bomber and other things. My mind's just always rolling. I'm always thinking of things I can come out here to you guys with. All right. I'll talk to you guys all later. Pesamore, peace and love. And hey, thank you so very much for that super chat. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.